Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. Boy, I needed that little break. I spent the 5th of July in St. Michael's for an amazing night of big band sounds and fireworks at the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum. I highly recommend it. But as for your OMG fact for the day, the longest English word has 45 letters, and it starts with pneumo and ends with osis. You can Google it if you want to know what it is. I can't pronounce it. Anyhow, we have a ton of news to catch up on today, so shall we? It's been a violent and troubling week in Annapolis as police investigate multiple incidents across the city. First, the early morning shooting on July 6th in the Bay Ridge Gardens neighborhood has now been officially declared a homicide. This is the fourth in the city so far this year. The victim, a 24-year-old man, was found with a gunshot wound to the head and later transported in critical condition. Police have not released his identity and no suspect or motive has been named. Just 2 days earlier, what should have been a celebratory night turned into panic after the city's Independence Day fireworks. 2 teen suspects fired Roman candles into the crowd as spectators were leaving, causing widespread confusion and a brief stampede up Main Street. Social media did light up with first-hand accounts, and the Annapolis Police Department finally confirmed the incident to us on July 7th, but said that they declined to press charges against the suspect. Also under investigation is an attempted armed robbery near Calvert and Northwest Street in downtown Annapolis. On the evening of July 2nd, 2 suspects approached a man and brandished a handgun. The man fled and no items were taken, no injuries were reported, and police are still searching for suspects. Finally, an active shooting investigation is underway on Kroll Drive, where first responders initially believed they were treating a fall victim. That call turned out to be a shooting. A 26-year-old man was found with a gunshot wound to the chest. His current condition has not been released, and the Annapolis Police Department has yet to provide any further updates. To be honest, the lack of information coming from the police department, either proactively or in response to inquiries, is nearly as troubling as the crime itself. In Glen Burnie, tragedy struck early Sunday morning when a man lost his life trying to save his family from a house fire. The blaze broke out on Crane Highway at about 3:38 a.m. Police on patrol actually noticed the flames and began alerting neighbors. Firefighters arrived to find the man had re-entered the burning home, unaware that his family had already escaped. He succumbed to the fire inside. A 13-month-old child and a woman were treated for smoke inhalation, and 3 firefighters sustained minor injuries. The Red Cross and crisis teams are supporting 13 displaced residents from 3 families, and this marks the 5th fire fatality of the year in Anne Arundel County. Investigators do believe that the fire was accidental. Historic Annapolis is celebrating Maryland's musical legacy with a brand new exhibit honoring 40 years of PRS guitars called A Journey of Tone. It's now on display at the Museum of Historic Annapolis right there at the foot of Main Street. The exhibit tells the story of PRS guitars from its humble beginnings in a small Annapolis workshop over what is now the Ram's Head Tavern to its rise as the 3rd largest electric guitar manufacturer in the country. Founded by Paul Reed Smith, the company has become a global name in the music craftsmanship. Visitors will see guitars, rare memorabilia, and a video of the guitar making process. It is a must-visit for music lovers and proud locals alike. And if you want to go over the bridge, check out the tour at PRS's factory over there in Stevensville. It's a fun one. Anne Arundel County's most delicious celebration is back. A Taste of Anne Arundel Grown returns with an evening of local flavor, live music, and farm-to-table fare. Now, Chef Monica Alvarado of Bread and Butter Kitchen, one of our favorites, will headline the menu, using only ingredients sourced from within the county. Guests are going to be able to enjoy local wine, craft beer, including a new collaboration brew, and take-home gift bags with coupons, goodies, and information about supporting local agriculture. Proceeds will benefit the Agricultural Business Improvement Grant Fund with the AAEDC and Future Farmers of America program at Cat North. Space is limited, so you want to grab your tickets early and support local farming. one tasty bite at a time. We do have the links for you at eyeonannapolis.net. Now, the press release said, there's a new coastal dining experience in town. Captain's Daughter has officially opened at the Westin in Annapolis. With a menu inspired by Chesapeake Bay and Delmarva flavors, the restaurant blends naval tradition with modern cuisine. Highlights include blue crab carbonara, she crab soup, and a signature cocktail lineup featuring Annapolis Fog and Captain Cousteau. The space features a circular bar, fireplace lounge, and nautical design throughout. Open daily with brunch on weekends and live music on Tuesdays and Fridays. It is already earning buzz. Reservations are encouraged. Now, I was there on Sunday, and I got to say, it is not ready for prime time yet, not for a little bit. The service was horrible, the food was meh, and keep in mind that this is a large hotel restaurant, but it does look very cool. I'm going to give it another shot, maybe in a month or more. As we start to close, today is Ticket Tuesday, and Ram's Head on Stage has hooked us up again for July. Now, I have a pair of tickets to see real blues, real authentic stuff from Canned Heat tonight. Or you can catch the Voices' Cammie Clune, who's going to be bringing the Heiress Experience on the 10th. Can you say Taylor Swift? Or Double Vision, the Ultimate Foreigner Experience on the 13th. You want to check them out at ramsheadonstage.com, then get back to me if you'd like to go to one of those shows, and I may hook you up. All right, that is a wrap. But first, a quick thank you to you for listening and sharing and letting all your friends and colleagues know about us, and to our sponsors for the Daily News Brief: Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Hospice of the Chesapeake, Fish for a Cure, and Macmedics. Now you want to hang tight because we have your local Anne Arundel County weather coming right up in about a minute, along with story time from the Chesapeake Crossroads Heritage Area.
Coping with advanced illness can be overwhelming, and determining the best options for a loved one isn't always so easy. But here at Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, we want you to know you do have a choice. You can choose exactly who provides the care and the type of care you receive, and it's your decision when and where your loved one receives that care. We have served our community, family, and friends for over 40 years. We are there when you need us. Learn how we can help at hospicechesapeake.org.
Next up, we're diving into today's Eye on Annapolis weather forecast. From sunny skies over the bay to storm warnings that could impact your plans, we've got the details to keep you ahead of the curve. Stay tuned. It's all coming your way in just a moment.
Hey there, here is your daily weather update for Annapolis and beyond. Let's chat about what's coming up, and don't worry, I'm going to keep it short and sweet so we can get on to the interesting stuff a little bit later. Today, expect a mix of clouds and sunshine with humidity keeping things sticky and the chance of a couple of drenching thunderstorms later in the day. Highs will reach about 90 with lows falling to about 76 overnight. Tomorrow's forecast shifts toward increasing clouds with heat hitting about 88 degrees as the high. Humidity does remain high with scattered showers and at least one heavy thunderstorm expected in the afternoon. Flash flooding may be possible, so you do want to stay weather aware. For Thursday, the weather pattern continues hot, humid, and unsettled. You'll get some sunshine, but there's also a chance of an afternoon storm, which could bring flooding downpours and localized wind gusts. Highs around 85 degrees with nighttime lows at about 74. Looking ahead beyond midweek into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to stay in this groove, a cloudy, warm, and muggy mix with scattered showers and storms almost every day. Expect occasional heavy rain and brief street flooding. Highs will remain in the mid-80s and lows will remain in the mid-70s. That wraps up the weather outlook. Keep water handy, watch for severe weather alerts, and stay safe. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Fish for a day, party for a night, all for a great cause. Don't miss Fish for a Cure's 19th annual fishing tournament and shore party, Saturday, November 1st at Safe Harbor, Annapolis. Register to fish and raise funds for the Cancer Survivorship Program at Luminous Health Anne Arundel Medical Center's Gayton and Joanne D. Cesaris Cancer Institute. All funds raised directly benefit cancer patients and their families. Register your boat or get your shore party ticket for fishforacure.org. Again, that's fishforacure.org.
Today, we continue with story time, courtesy of the Chesapeake Crossroads Heritage Area, which has a ton of great ideas to really dig deep into our wonderful Anne Arundel County. You can check it all out at chesapeakecrossroads.org, but you want to gather around for today's story. On July 7th in 1965, Anne St. Clair Wright took then Secretary of the Interior Stuart Udall on a walking tour of the newly designated Colonial Annapolis Historic District, one of the first in the United States to receive recognition as a National Historic Landmark. Many credit this designation as a turning point for the city that was threatened by urban renewal, blight, and neglect. The city government began protecting its historic places, and along with the nonprofit Historic Annapolis, the Annapolis community became a leader in preservation, inspiring others nationally and locally. The Anne Arundel County Trust for Preservation, established in 1974, encouraged preservation across the county and motivated county leaders to start a county-wide preservation program in the 1980s. Preservation in the early 20th century was largely a privately funded philanthropic affair inspired by colonial Williamsburg and the ladies of Mount Vernon. In face of rapid suburbanization and the loss of countless historic sites nationwide, the protection and appreciation of historic sites for all Americans was codified with the National Historic Preservation Act of 1966. Preservation has evolved in the past generation and now more thoughtfully embraces everyday history, not just fancy buildings. Streetscapes, viewsheds, and cultural fabric of a community are all equally embraced. Someone walking down Pinckney Street today sees the same streetscape as someone walking that route in 1805. Many of the scenic and historic roads across the county remain virtually unchanged since the 1700s, maybe a little bit of asphalt here and there. A fresh curiosity about everyday life and the stories of average people in the past have led preservationists in the city and county to seek out a fuller understanding of history through archaeology, the study of artifacts and forgotten buried places, which are literally stories buried beneath our feet. Oral histories have further enriched our understanding of local history and experiences sometimes not documented in the conventional archival records. 65 years later, due in part to the famous and sometimes controversial efforts of the strong-willed St. Clair Wright, our local legacy shows that tough decisions and preservation battles can bring significant benefits to the community in the long term. This is, in no small part, why Annapolis was recently named one of the top 10 places to visit by CNN Travel. Chesapeake Crossroads Heritage Area embodies that preservation ethos and legacy, and we encourage you to explore the places dedicated to protecting our historic sites and local heritage. Check out a few of the sites that got their start in the early preservation movement. Hancock's Resolution. Back in 1969, St. Clair Wright herself successfully lobbied the county to acquire and save Hancock's Resolution, a rare example of a virtually unchanged 18th century stone building in North County. Still owned by the county today, you can visit it and learn about the Hancock family, early farming, and the transition of the area from farms to suburbia. The Galesville Community Center and the Hot Sox ball field and the Henry Wilson House down in Galesville. Back in 1959, the Galesville Community Center raised money across the black community to purchase the dilapidated Rosenwald School. While it took another 4 decades to fully restore the black schoolhouse built in 1926, it has become a point of civic pride vital to the West Banning Road community. This preservation project launched community efforts to save the Henry Wilson House and the Hot Sox ball field right next door. The William Brown House at historic London Town and Gardens. Community leaders united in the 70s to save William Robert Brown House at what is today known as historic London Town and Gardens Park in Edgewater. In the late 80s and 90s, this preservation effort set the stage for archaeologists and historians assisted by schoolchildren from across the county to rediscover an entire 17th century seaport through archaeology, creating a major heritage tourism site, which you can still visit today. Here in Annapolis, Mount Moriah Church. Mount Moriah Church is home to the Banneker Douglas Tubman Museum. It might not have survived if a court case in 1974 had been lost. Anne Arundel County sought to demolish the historic black church to expand parking and around the courthouse. Archaeological excavations nearly uncovered artifacts and stories of an almost forgotten African-American neighborhood that thrived during the 19th and 20th centuries, changing the understanding of everyday life for Americans. And finally, the Annapolis Maritime Museum at McNasby's in the Barge House. If not for the work of the Eastport Historical Committee founded by Peg Wallace in the 1970s, McNasby's and the Barge House might have been lost after Hurricane Isabel's destruction in 2003. These buildings now form the core of the Annapolis Maritime Museum and its waterfront campus, a treasured community institution. If you're interested to learn more, check out eyeonannapolis.net at noon today for a much deeper dive. And if you're ready to really make history part of your summer, Check out the historic Summer Bucket List Challenge from Chesapeake Crossroads Heritage Area. More than 60 sites across the county, one challenge card, lots of stories waiting to be rediscovered. You can get all the details at ChesapeakeCrossroads.org.
Have you ever had to wait to get an appointment at the Apple Store? Skip the wait and the line at the mall by visiting Mac Medics in Severna Park, where appointments are not necessary. Mac Medics is an Apple-authorized premium service provider. Mac Medics services all Apple devices, including broken iPhone screens and batteries, and all without an appointment. Most iPhone repairs are complete the same day and usually within a few hours. Mac Medics is also an Apple-authorized reseller and sell Apple products at the same price as the Apple Store. Visit Mac Medics in Severna Park for Apple-authorized sales and service and shop local. Don't wait for help. Call Mac Medics at 410-757-MAX, which is 410-757-6227. It's 410-757-6227. Or visit them online at macmedics.com. You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.